In this morning's Health Watch, a plan to roll back regulations on some of those so-called forever chemicals that's in our drinking water. The EPA announced yesterday it will weaken limits established by the Biden administration last year. Forever chemicals, as they're called, are chemicals that don't break down easily. They're found in the water, the air, the soil, and some of the fish. The research connects them to a range of serious illnesses, including heart disease, cancers, hormonal disruptions, and abnormal development of babies and children. Nobody wants any of these things. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder is editor-at-large for public health at KFF Health News and joins us to sort it all out. So, doctor, how common are these chemicals?
Testing by the Environmental Working Group and other groups has found that over 2,700 water systems across the U.S. are contaminated with PFAS, these forever chemicals. And it's not just in our drinking water, by the way. It's also in the soil. They found it in rainwater. And it's estimated that some 30,000 industrial polluters are putting out PFAS chemicals into the environment in this country.
So how do they plan to weaken the limits? And a better question, it's been on the books for so long, why now?
Well, CBS News, reached out to the EPA for comment. They have not gotten back to us yet. It was about just over a year ago that under the Biden administration, the EPA, for the first time, issued regulations on PFAS in our drinking water. And so that included PFOA and PFOS, PFAS chemicals for which there is no safe limit of exposure. Under the new administration, under the new EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, they are pulling back on some of these regulations. So they still are maintaining regulations on PFOA and PFOS, but extending the timeline for compliance from 2029 to 2031. And they are pulling back on regulations on the other 4 PFAS chemicals, saying there were concerns about the legal process and scientific basis for those restrictions.
So what type of impact is this going to have on our drinking water here in the U.S.?
Well, communities that are going to be impacted most are those living near military bases and manufacturing plants, particularly in lower income or rural areas. Those are the communities.
Why?
Well, those are the communities where we have found the highest level of PFAS, and again, that's related to the manufacturing and what you have on military bases.
So is it tap water that's of greatest concern, or is it also well water? Like my mom lives in an area with a well.
Yeah, so it could also be contaminated if you have well water. So you can have your well water tested and see if that's an issue for you.
Bottled water?
Bottled water, we don't think, but there are other concerns with bottled water,
Yeah,
right? The microplastics, right?
I was going to say, there's always something.
There's always something.
So if you want to limit your exposure, what should you do?
Well,
You can't give up water.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in addition to having your well water tested, if that's what you have, you can call up your local water utility, see if they're testing, see what they're finding. If you can afford it, you can get a reverse osmosis filter system installed in your home. Well, most of us cannot afford to do that, so what else can you do? Avoid nonstick pans, avoid products with that are stain resistant or waterproof. And the state of Massachusetts has actually put together a PFAS-free buying guide for consumers, so you have a better sense for what's safe and what's not.
All right, Dr. Celine Gounder, thank you so much.